Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 190, Gladstone School for World Conquerors. My name is Eric.
And I am Jason.
This is a little weird, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah.
It is.
For the listener, I don't know if there's going to be much of an audio difference. I guess there might be. The acoustics in this place are a little different.
It sounds a little
Echoey?
echoier.
Yeah.
Echoier.
We are not recording in Gutter Trash headquarters.
No.
We have taken a field trip of sorts.
Yeah.
We are at my parents' house. And here are our special guests. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Oh, how awesome would that be? And the movie we watched was Pink Flamingos.
No, my parents are not here. I am house sitting. So decided rather than because I gotta come here and I gotta take care of the cats. I totally forgot that there is a chiming clock. And it's 9 o'clock. So this will go on for a while.
Yeah. I'm guessing 9 more strikes.
2.
This is weird, though. Are you really going to count them? There's all 9.
All right.
Yeah.
We might hear a couple of their chimes at the quarter hour.
Do they have any other, like, auditory, like, alarms that go off? Like, the moisture is too low in your kitchen.
Well, we might hear the freezer might shake loose some extra ice cubes.
Oh, I love that sound. It's so relaxing. It really is.
I got cats. One of them who is pretty talkative. He might. I don't think he's going to come out because you're here,
Right.
but he might, and he might make some noise.
Some meows and whatnot.
Yeah. Otherwise, no. I think everything else is pretty silent.
The maid is asleep. And
Yeah. I chloroformed her and locked her in the background.
See, that's always a good move, especially when you're recording a podcast. Though.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't want them milling around trying to find means of escape for sustenance.
So what else was I saying? No. This is because I got to take care of the cats. So usually in the past, we've I've still managed to do the podcast at the apartment, but usually like if I go to the apartments, or if I come here, I don't want to leave again to go back to the apartments.
Right.
So I usually just go to the apartment straight after work, and then I won't wind up coming back here until like 10.
And the cats are all sad, and
Oh,
the maid's still awake.
right, yeah. There is no maid. We do have a cleaning lady, though. She comes in on Friday. So I figured, since I got the laptop just a couple months ago, I figured we can take this fucker on the road.
Yeah.
And so when I brought over all the shit that I was going to need for the week, I packed up all the podcasting accoutrement.
Ooh, I love it when you speak French, Gomez.
So we decided, what the hell, let's do this here.
Yeah. You're like Dave Letterman and I'm Paul Schaefer, and this is our Ed Sullivan Theater.
Yeah, kind of. Too bad that, actually, we'll be doing next week's episode from here as well.
Yes. Forever and ever? Forever here?
Just this week and next week. We're going to go back to the trash hole later.
I thought, wait a minute. I mean, it makes sense that you're of the age where you move back into your parents' house forever. I thought all adult males in America at age 35 do that.
Well, I'm not 35 yet.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I've said it before. I would totally move back in here if I could.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
If you don't, I will. You better hurry.
Well, I'll just move in with your mom.
That's fine.
As long as she doesn't pick up any more stray relatives.
This place is roomier and has alcohol. I'm in.
Well, you know, there's 3 spare bedrooms.
Wow, we could
We
both
both totally could move in.
and bring Joji as well.
Yeah! I'm sorry to hear about his divorce.
Oh,
I
I didn't know about
But,
that.
you know, we'll be there for him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well. I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, so, we're at my parents' kitchen table. This is where I ate breakfast with my dad every day for 20-some years.
Aww. Is this where you, like, read Marmaduke and ate Cheerios?
Upside down.
Yeah.
Because he was always reading the paper, and I learned how to read upside down.
Ah.
And it was usually Frosted Flakes. I was not a fan of the Cheerio.
Oh, okay.
Or Raisin Bran. I had that.
You like the Raisin Bran?
Nope, it was just what was here. I was never allowed to have any of the kids' cereals.
Oh, like the tasty cookie-flavored ones?
Yeah. Nope. Yep, and this is where my dad and I learned to just sit in the same room together, completely silent for, about an hour or so. And
kept that tradition up for decades.
he was still going strong.
It's a good thing that some family bonds never break.
Yeah, I've got all my equipment here. We're facing each other more directly at a table.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's very odd.
Yeah, we're usually at a pretty
Close
healthy
together.
Angle. Yeah.
We're at an angle usually. There's not a large object between us.
Well, unless one of us gets really heavy.
Yeah.
And just one of us, ladies.
Yep.
Just one of them.
I'm almost so off-put by this that I don't know how to start.
I think we talk about a comic. I mean, supposedly.
Supposedly?
Yeah. I don't think we usually necessarily do, but
Well, we could try.
we could try.
I guess that's what we have been doing for 190 episodes.
And we've never got it yet, but why not try one more time?
Hey, there's always 191. So, for brevity's sake, let's just call this Gladstones.
Yeah.
Because I am already tired of saying that name.
Yeah.
Written by Mark Andrew Smith, drawn by Armand Villavert?
Bilibert?
I don't know.
It's got some L's in it, but
Yeah,
it's not an American name, so who knows?
exactly. It's all up in the air.
Yeah.
This is an image book, right?
Yep.
Yep,
It's a collection of, I think, 6 issues, maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
First 6 issues of Gladstones.
Yep. It is a book about wannabe supervillains and the children of former supervillains who are all attending this school to learn how to become better supervillains.
Yeah.
And then something happens. Maybe.
You should have read all the promo copy for this book. It would have done better.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they have promo copy on the back, and it completely spoils the story on the inside.
Yeah, it does.
So maybe. So I guess at this point, it's not a spoiler.
Yeah. We can spoil away.
Yeah,
And here it goes.
If it is in very large type on the back of the book you are buying, it's not a spoiler.
That's probably true.
Yeah. The battles between superheroes and supervillains are fake.
What?
Yeah.
They're not real.
They're not real. They're comic books.
Ah. I guess I owe I guess I owe Joji $5.
Yeah.
He told me that once. I didn't believe him.
I'm sitting my water on the ground because I'm afraid of spilling it all over everything.
Now you've got me nervous about my tea. I'm going to put the lid on.
I am super nervous about your tea as well.
I will put the lid. The lid is on.
All right. Just hope none of the cats come by and drink it or knock it over. So yeah, Gladstone's School for World Conquerors. I get the distinct impression that you did not like this book.
I started out wanting and expecting to really like it.
Okay.
And then I started reading it, and I immediately did not like it.
Spoiler for our process.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me what book it was, but you did tell me before you picked it that you had started reading a book that you absolutely hated, and that you decided you weren't going to pick it. You had to find something new real quick.
Right.
But then you picked this book, and so I asked you what the book you decided not to pick was, and you said it was this book.
Well, because I read a little further, and I was like, oh, this is going to build into something much bigger, and it's intriguing, and like it's maybe slow to start, and I think I am going to really like it. But I ended up not liking it. Not as much as I initially thought I was going to dislike it, but
right.
Somewhere in between. I would say it's fair to say I'm uber disappointed with this book.
All right. I went into it knowing that you at least really hated the first issue.
Yeah.
Thinking that maybe it turned around for you by the second issue. So, I kind of went in with lowered expectations. And think I'm pretty sure I'm on the same page with you about the beginning of this. That it was not good. It opens with... It basically opens with a lengthy voiceover.
Yeah.
By some dude who was never named. Who we never really see again, who never really has much of a bearing on anything else in this book. To pretty much give us like 30 pages of exposition. Pointless exposition.
Right, yeah.
Because basically it tells us why this book is called Gladstone School for World Conquerors, and it turns out that this story, it doesn't matter why the hell it's called Gladstone School for World Conquerors.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like, it would have been an interesting, like, one-page thing, like, oh, this guy started it, but he was an inept villain and he got frozen in concrete and this other guy took over.
Right.
Panel 4, But like you said, it was page after page after page of that, and you're just like, okay, this has got to be really important.
Right.
Never, ever comes back into play.
Nope. And then after that, the story structure of this is just weird. Because it's like a series of short vignettes, but they kind of tie together. I mean, it's character building.
Right. Because the same characters in each vignette.
Right. It's establishing who they are and their relationships to each other, and we get a little bit of backstory here and there, but then like the twist, which again was spoiled on the back of this book,
right?
Which I honestly I had read up to that part in the book already before I even flipped the book over to see the back, so I didn't even see that, and I'm kind of glad for that. Because it did make it a little bit more interesting.
Right.
But I think had I read the back, I would have been just disappointed more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like, because on the back it's in bold type and it's, like, this is the crazy crux of the story that, it's all fake. And I was like, wow, I love stuff like that where, like, it's like, you know, which reality is real, or like characters in a fictitious reality realize they're in a fictitious reality, or anything along those lines. Like, I'm really just interested in. And although that is sort of in the story, it's
a little bit. Yeah.
It's never really a big part of the story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's present, but it's not like the story doesn't revolve around that. It's more around, you know, just like, you know, one of the kids has a crush on one of the other ones, and like these two twins or two siblings go visit their mom in prison, and you know,
it's just short stories about these characters.
Yeah,
and I like that. Like, I didn't dislike any of that part.
Right.
But like that lengthy setup just kind of, you know, got me off to a rocky start with it. And then by the time we get to what is, I guess, the crux of this story, like, you know, I kind of almost didn't care.
Yeah, I think I would have liked it much better if they just never even bothered with any sort of overarching, like, big story. If every issue was just, you know, like
short stories about these kids.
Yeah. I think I would have liked it so much better.
I kind of got to agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really disappointing. Because, I mean, it's a fun comic for the most part.
Right.
And you know, I often say that, you know, comics need to be more fun. It just feels, I don't know, like they tried, not shoehorn, but, you know, they just tried to present this big epic thing, you know, that they're apparently going for, in what essentially should just be, you know, quirky little comic strips, you know.
Right.
You know.
Maybe over time it would build up to something bigger, but it's like, yeah, they start off, and even like you know, pointed out on the back cover, like, it's advertising, like, here's what this is about, and it's not about that at all.
Exactly. You know, yeah, it's just man, like I feel bad for wanting to trash this book.
I don't want to trash it, because I'm thinking maybe, like, I know people that like it, like that shop in my work, that were super excited about it, and that's one of the reasons, you know, I gave it a look, and I'm sure it has an audience that would really enjoy it. It's not me.
Right.
It's definitely not me.
Well, I mean, it seems like I should be in that audience, and I wasn't digging it.
Right.
But, like, I didn't hate it at all, you know, like, I just kind of found it pointless for the most part, and just, like, I just really like the small bits better than I liked, you know, the overarching thing. Yeah,
I mean, I really like the art. Like, the art's good.
The art's okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's a little sparse.
Well, yeah, there's, like, hardly any backgrounds, which, like, that's usually not a problem, but I mean, this is kind of like, it's not set like in somebody's room or like in an open expanse. It's like set in this world that they're trying to create, and it's like you don't really ever get to see it, you know, because they don't really show you the background very much.
Yeah, it was distracting to there's so few backgrounds that it was distracting when there was stuff going on.
Right.
And yeah, that's not a good thing. The art's not bad. It just I don't know, lacking something. I think it's saved by coloring a lot.
The coloring's pretty spectacular.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's good character work. Like the characters all have like personality.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, they're very animated.
Yeah, and you can look at them and see part of the personality. It's not just all in the writing. Yeah.
So much like the story itself, the art is, you know, just lacking that something that could put it really over the top and make it excellent.
Right.
Because it's not bad. It's just not great.
Yeah, like, as far as I know, I mean, unless we just stopped ordering it because Jeremy orders most of the image, I don't even know if it still comes up.
Talk about that.
This book doesn't come out anymore, does it? It's over, I believe.
I don't know. I mean, I read the afterword, and they clearly want to do more.
Yeah, they have big
just
plans.
where the story ends. You can tell that they want to do more.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I'd heard of this book, but like, I never knew when it came out. It was just always sort of like this random Image book that was coming out for a while that nobody ever talked about.
Yeah. I mean, because I know I kind of flipped through yesterday, and we only have single issues that are in this trade. So I don't think I've ever seen like a 7th or 8th issue.
Right.
But I never looked it up to see. But yeah, I feel like it didn't do as well as initially, people thought it might. Like even the people that loved it at my work. They're like, oh yeah, make sure you add that to my file. And after the first issue, they're like, yeah, this book's really good. And then like I never heard anything else about it, so I don't know if they quickly lost interest or what. But
that's far more than I ever heard about this book. Mm-hmm. Like, I never saw reviews for it online. I never saw promotion for it anywhere. It's just one of those things where, like, I was going through the previews list and I see this Gladstone book,
right?
And I just assumed it was. I don't know what I assumed, but I didn't think it was this book.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever even saw it on the shelf anywhere.
I like the idea of the book. I mean, a school for supervillains.
The idea is fine. Yeah, there are so many pieces to this thing that work, but then, like, something... For every piece that works, there's at least one or two things that work against it.
Yeah. I would agree with that totally. Yeah, it's just... I mean, it's honestly just kind of a mess. Like it's not real coherent, and
it's not focused.
Right, and it's not so unfocused that each chapter is completely separate, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. They're all separate, but they still try to link it together too much, and I don't know.
Right. There's a glue missing to a lot of this, I think, and it's basically superhero wrestling storyline.
Right.
Is just it's not working to be that glue, which I think is what he wanted it to be.
Right.
And then there are like annoying things about it, like there's like a 17-page diatribe about comic books.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm reading comic books. Don't yell at me.
Yeah. I didn't like that either. Yeah.
And they're trying to introduce comic books and like superhero comic books into this superhero comic book. And it's sort of like this weird, multi-level Grant Morrison-y type thing. Like levels upon levels of, mind fuck. And it never really pays off. And like I said, there's like 30 pages of him using a character to just yell at people about comic books.
Well, yeah, and it's like, and the thing they're yelling is that comics are worth reading and blah blah blah, and you're like, I'm reading one. Yes, exactly. I know. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Why don't you make this one worth reading?
Yeah. I did like Kid Nefarious is one of the main characters. He's like the largest drawn character on the cover, so it leads me to think he's the prominent character. Even though they all have kind of equal time in the book. But
also by far not my favorite character.
No, the Skull Brothers, right?
Oh yeah.
They're awesome. I mean, there's some really interesting characters. There's the kid that looks like Ambush Bug. He's awesome.
I totally thought that too. There's even a scene where like he's sneaking out of his room and he leaves behind like a doll, like in his place.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, hey, that's Ambush Bug.
Is that Cheeks? But I would have loved. There's like one little snippet where Kid Nefarious's father like sneaks over to some like terrifying galaxy and gets this rare flower that anybody that picks it like is killed instantly or like something, I forget. But he brings it home to his wife and it's not a big deal to her because he's already given her 100 of them, and I would have loved that as like just a separate little mini comic or a short story or whatever.
Like that part was awesome. Like it was like a multi-page battle between I forget the guy's name. Probably nefarious something.
Right.
Completely silent. Just him massacring everyone to get this flower, and he brings it home, and then we see it's not a big deal. Yeah, that part was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the book.
Yeah. And then the ending shits on it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like the last page or whatever.
Yep. It's like if you're watching the Avengers and you stay through all the credits, and then right at the end, the thing we see is like Tony Stark just on the toilet reading the paper.
Yeah.
So yeah, that demystifies a lot of things.
Yeah. Huh. Well, yeah, and like you mentioned a minute ago, that's the reason I even decided not to pick this book originally. Like after I started reading it, because I was like, occasionally I don't mind if something we pick, we don't like, and we have some things to constructive criticism or just hate mail, whatever.
Right.
But I really don't like. I really just like talking about books that I like to read or that I enjoyed reading.
Right.
So yeah, like I feel bad because I don't want to just discourage people from reading this thing because you might like it, listener, you might like it.
I think there's a lot of potential in this.
Yeah.
I don't mind talking about something that's bad. I go into this hoping that everything we read is good.
Yeah.
Because obviously you read a bad book, you feel like you've wasted, a couple of days of your life.
Well, not only that, you'd rather promote something good to people who hadn't heard of it than like trash something, but occasionally this happens.
Yeah. It's gonna happen. It is gonna continue to happen as long as you keep picking comics.
Or movies.
Yeah. But there's also a fun to venting about something that's not great.
Yeah, but this one's not so bad that I feel like trashing it. Yeah.
This one is, like I said, I think there's a lot of this that has potential.
Yeah.
It's just so unorganized that it just never reaches anything.
If it wasn't in a slick cover, it would feel more like something, and it wasn't colored so well, it would feel like something one of our friends made, and we're like, this is a great start.
Right.
This is a really good start.
Right, yeah.
Get it cleaned up and put together, and you're going to do all right, buddy.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. There is clearly something I'm trying to say, but I can't get it out of my head. Fart nugget.
Were you familiar with either one of the creators at all?
I have never read anything by either of the creators, no.
But they have done other stuff they know?
I think the writer, Mark Andrew Smith, I think he's done something else. Again, like just for some reason, this book is completely off my radar.
Right.
I'm just sort of like, in the peripheral.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's just... I don't know. Yeah, there's just so much about this book that was disappointing that just made a lot of the good parts not work either.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel bad for kind of trashing this book because
it's got potential.
Yeah. And I think we've said hundreds of times already.
That's what frustrates us the most.
Exactly. When something could be so good and it just isn't.
Yeah, you'd rather read The Infinite than Gladstone.
Oh, yeah.
Because then you can just gnaw into it.
Exactly.
Right.
And not feel the least bit bad about it.
Right.
Yeah. So, oh well, it happens.
Yeah, middle of the road.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, I'm sure someone out there would totally enjoy this and think that we're idiots for not liking it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
sure.
Whatever, that's fine.
And it does, like I said, I enjoy the concept and some of the characters, and so it makes me curious what else the writer's done, and like I said, I like the art, so I'm sort of curious about. It's like it hasn't put me off on either one of these dudes.
Right.
But I think if there's a second trade, I wouldn't pick it up.
Right. That sort of makes me think. I think I mentioned this recently. Even I can't remember what book we were talking about at the time, but it just seems like Image is one of those companies where you have to put up a fee beforehand, and then you put your life and your soul and your blood and your sweat into putting out this book, and there's always that potential that I'm sure Image will continue publishing the book until you decide that you have no more money to,
Right.
So it seems like if you get that chance, to have something done, through any publisher, really, why? And I mean, a lot of people have ideas where it's like, man, I could do this forever, and that's awesome. But, at the same time, you kind of realize that, well, this could also fail horribly.
Right.
So I should just tell a story that I really want to tell, wrap it up nice and neatly.
Exactly, yeah.
Leaving vague things open here and there, or just not, not killing the universe, with that thing, so I can always come back and tell more.
Right. But not leaving it, like, building to some 300-issue story off the bat.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of what seems like this was doing.
Right.
And, I mean, maybe they'll do more, I don't know. But, it just seems like where there's always that, and I hate to say this, but where there's always that potential for failure.
Yeah.
Maybe you should plan for it.
Right. Yeah. Or at least, I mean, like, maybe that's why something isn't successful, is because, someone does just read like us, we read this first 6 issues, and, like, yeah, like, not that everything has to be wrapped up in some neat little tidy box, but it's like, yeah, we've got all these plans, and it's going in a million different directions, and, like, there's nothing really, no footing to latch onto as far as, like, here's the feel of the book yet. I mean, it's just more like, okay, here's all these ideas, it doesn't gel, though.
If I read a 6-issue trade paperback or miniseries or whatever, I want a complete story in that, and I also want to come back for more. And there's ways to do that, and I don't think that this one did it.
Right.
I just think that they just sort of, put too much into it to say, this is all the stuff that we're doing, this is what we want to do, and we ran out of pages.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's like they're excited creators. And they have all this creative energy, and, like, I respect that, but yeah.
And I think focus plays
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like sometimes you reel it in a little bit, and,
Exactly.
And it's more, like, not mysterious, but it's more alluring, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, maybe next time.
Yeah. I don't really have much else to say about this book that we haven't said already multiple times. So, take a break?
Sure.
All right.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, hurting runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh, no, no. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Sweet Caroline, I believe they never could. Sweet
Hey, welcome back to Eric's parents' house.
Yeah. It's nice here.
It is.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's, it hasn't been very noisy at your place since your neighbors left, but
right.
I mean, I've never heard a peep out of anything here.
Yeah. Well, before you came over, I was trying to cook dinner, and the one cat who comes out just kept crying for no reason. Probably just because I wasn't paying attention to him at that particular point in time.
Right.
Because I was cooking. So, he runs around here. He's noisy. Usually I've got the TV turned up all the way. So, that's a thing that happens occasionally.
All right.
But yeah, when the TV's off and the cats are asleep,
It's pretty peaceful.
pretty peaceful. It's, I gotta tell you, maybe it harkens back just to my childhood, but I get a little creeped out in this place sometimes.
Really?
Yep.
See, I thought you were going to go with, you feel all warm and nostalgic. but
Oh, no.
Creeped out.
A little bit creeped
Really?
out. Yeah. And sometimes because I house sit for my parents at least twice a year, and I have been for like the past 13 years. I gotta admit that, by Wednesday, I usually feel just crushing loneliness.
Aw. Really?
Yeah. Especially since, we have 3 cats here. They're not very social.
Right.
The one is occasionally social when it suits him. Then there's, of course, Max, who is, I used to think he was the most awesome cat in the world. I don't think so much anymore. Because, he just wants to spend all of his time outside or sleeping.
Is there a place called Rent a Puppy or something where you could, whenever you house sit, you could just get a puppy and...
Yeah, I don't like dogs.
They're friendly though.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah. I just need a girlfriend. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Is there a place where you can rent one of those when your parents are out of town? I don't know, it seems like risky business.
Yeah.
You could hurt yourself sliding around here on the tile in your socks.
Right, yeah. That's when I wear slippers.
Yeah, see?
Yep.
You're smarter than a Scientologist. That's something, right?
Oh, we're gonna get sued.
Can you get sued by Scientologists?
You can get sued by Tom Cruise.
Oh, really?
He is litigious.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Bring it on, short stuff.
But yeah, occasionally, when it's super quiet, and especially at night, yeah, I feel a little creeped out and getting really lonely and desperate here sometimes.
Really?
And I get kind of sad.
Well,
which, is almost par for the course for me. Just seems amplified here.
Really? Because it's bigger and more spacious. And,
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, at your place, I mean, you're right by a busy street, so you can hear traffic, and there's, like, ne'er-do-wells playing their accordions and Magic the Gathering outside your window. But, yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of like, nothing. Like, I can't hear anything outside here. Maybe an occasional, like, airplane going over or something, but...
Rarely, yeah. Or, during the day, obviously, you hear people outside mowing their lawns or whatever, or the assholes who live behind my parents and their stupid dog. Or the assholes who live next door to my parents and their stupid dogs. I mean... Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously I do like this place. I like this house. I lived here for 20 years. So there is some nostalgia, but at the same time, like, like you go to your mom's house, like even before you had to move back in with her, like, you had a lot of stuff still there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't have anything here.
Right.
Like, the day that I moved out, my mom tore out all my shit of my old bedroom and redecorated it in her, vision.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think there's still, like, because my room was originally the basement,
right?
Which I last week just moved back into,
right?
And I think there's still, like, posters, like, band flyers and things that I hung up when I was, like, 18, or, like, 17, because I moved out when I was 18.
Right.
But, yeah, there's still, like, high school stuff hanging up in the room I'm sleeping in right now, which...
Right.
Yeah, that is... I mean, it's kind of, like, I look around and I feel like, I haven't grown up at all. Like, like, all my comics are still down there, and, like...
Yeah. Well, I'm also not allowed to go into my old bedroom.
Really?
Yeah.
It's off limits?
It's off limits. It is closed. The room I stay in when I'm house sitting is the guest room.
So is there still a bed, though, in your old room?
No, there's still a bed there. It is an additional guest room now.
Wow.
My old desk is there.
A drawing desk?
Just desk. Yeah. I never had a drawing desk. And, like, there are some paperback books in the drawer from, when I was a kid. That's pretty much it.
Right.
That is all that is left of me in this house anymore, outside of pictures.
Well, this place doesn't have a basement.
No, it does not.
Like, I'm sure my mom would have had to have gotten rid of all my stuff if we didn't have a basement. But yeah.
No, it was made under no uncertain terms that I move out, all my shit moves out.
Yeah. Well, that's smart.
And there is no returning.
I'm sure my mom has regretted her course of action over the years. But yeah, because my brothers moved back with his wife once. They lived there for a little while. When they were trying to sell their house and they thought it was like imminent, and they moved back in. And then, like, the house never sold, so they had to move back into their house. So,
right.
And, like, he still had some stuff there in the attic, like some old, like,
so you had the basement, he had the attic.
Yeah. Well, I didn't live there at the time, but yeah. Yeah.
We do have an attic. I don't think there's anything up there.
We should find out.
You can go up there if you want. I don't want to go out in the garage. It's hot out there.
Oh, you have to go to the garage.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake the chloroformed cleaning lady.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have a shed, and a couple years ago there was some old toys and shit of mine in there, but I think that got all thrown out, so. This is, pretty much just like being a guest in someone else's house.
Right.
But, free food, central air. Cable TV, there's
occasionally some kitty cats roaming around.
Occasionally a nice kitty cat will say hi to me, and occasionally an asshole will run away from me. I hate that cat. That's the worst cat in the world. There are 3 cats here. I'm sure I've talked about them on the show before. There's Max, who's a big, fat butterball of a cat who just sort of hangs out and sleeps and eats and goes outside.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. Then there's JC, who can be awesome. Can be super lovable, but he's also super annoying because he will not shut up if he's awake. And then there's Emmy, who is just a real dickhead. He won't come out unless he thinks you're not around. If he sees you, he'll run away. Won't let you get anywhere near him, won't let you touch him, won't let you pet him. For some reason, if you happen to make physical contact with him, he will howl like he is in pain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he like a stray you found or something?
He and JC were brothers. They were rescued from. They were actually from Chicago. My aunt, who you've met, they live next to a junkyard, and so there's strays in and out of there all the time. And I guess during like a really bad rainstorm, like my aunt heard screaming, and she ran outside and saw 2 kittens drowning in a puddle in her yard.
Oh.
And she grabbed them and brought them inside and saved them and nursed them back to health, and then gave them to my mom.
See, that's an awesome story.
Yeah. And then one of them turned out to be just a real piece of shit.
That's what they leave out those Disney movies. You know, they never want to let that bit of the story see the light of day.
Yeah, and he's always puking everywhere. So, you know, every day when I get up and every day when I come home, I have to go on my vomit search. Because there's a new place every time. You know, yesterday I actually didn't get to eat breakfast because I got up in plenty of time to go to work. But I got up and there was cat shit like at the bottom of the stairs in the basement. Yeah. And that is like the second time that's happened in the last week. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And I cleaned it up. And I looked over and I saw another pile, like a foot away from the litter box, which is in the basement. Right.
And I was like, oh, great. So I went and I picked that up and I looked over into the corner, like behind, cause like, you know, like there's a litter box and a pile of shit in the corner. And I saw the corner and there was like 8 more piles of shit. And some of them had been there obviously for days because it was all like petrified looking.
Right.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I like look in the litter box to make sure, you know, like it's not like just horribly, you know, horrifying or something.
Right.
Cause we scoop it out every day.
Right.
And then I looked in and it looked fine. It didn't like smell like, you know, ammonia or anything.
Right.
And like, you know, while I'm cleaning up some of the shit, this cat goes and gets in the litter box. I hear him pee. And I was like, okay. So he's found the litter box. This is good. He walks out of the litter box, looks up at me, and shits on the floor right there. And I just yell at him and he runs away. It's my mom's cat, Buzz.
Okay.
And,
so he hates you.
He hates me. Well, not only that, but then I am cleaning up that pile of shit. And while I'm doing that, he's doing something else. And I didn't know this until like right before I left because I go to make up my bed and he pissed on my bed while I was cleaning up his shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So he doesn't like me for some reason. All of a sudden too. Like, cause like this time last week he was like sleeping in the same bed with me and like.
Well, cause you moved down to the basement.
Possibly.
You moved into his bathroom.
He's like, Master's getting weird. He wants to watch me poop while he sleeps. But yeah, that sucks.
That does suck. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. This has been cat talk.
Yeah, it has. We're cat guys.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're gonna grow up to be lonely, old, creepy cat guys.
Oh, don't forget bald.
Oh yeah. Let's try to talk about something else. I made my first foray into digital comic books.
Yeah?
Yeah. I bought myself one of them there tablets.
What up?
Yeah.
What up, tablet?
After some research and investigation, I found a non-Apple made tablet that I kind of wanted. Got some pretty good reviews.
Mm-hmm.
No thanks to my friend Andy, who was of no help to me whatsoever. But I bought an Asus Transformer TF300.
Oh, it turns into a robot, too.
Maybe. I haven't figured out all the features yet.
Jeremy will know how to transform it. He's really good at that.
But yeah, I went out Friday and I bought it. My friend works at a office supply store that sells them, and she gets a discount, so I had her buy it for me. Obviously, it was my money, but her discount. Brought it home. It said to charge it for 8 hours before use. I did that, and it was a fucking brick.
You mean it was heavy?
No, it just didn't work.
Oh, no, that sucks.
The touch screen on it didn't work, so you could just you turn it on, and like obviously I know I'm talking to sort of a
Neanderthal.
Yeah.
You can say Neanderthal. It's fine.
But a tablet, you can like turn it, one way or the other, and like the screen moves,
right?
Landscape or portrait. And it would do that, but you couldn't touch any of the buttons on it. It would just sit there. So I couldn't even turn it off, because when you hit the power button, it brings up a window that says, "Would you like to power down?"
And you're supposed to touch yes or no.
Yes, yeah. So called my friend Saturday evening, and because she has another job that's actually not too far from my parents' house, so. When she got off work, she swung by here, and I gave her the tablet because she was working at the supply store again on Sunday. And so she exchanged it for me, and I guess she even had like their tech people look at it, and it was just straight out of the box, a piece of shit.
Huh. Well, it was a really expensive nightlight.
Yeah. So she exchanged it, and while she was at work, because she did it like first thing she got there, and then she plugged it in and charged it her entire shift.
Nice.
So it got the full 8 hours of charge.
There you go.
She brought it over to me, and it worked. So I spent all last night trying to configure it, and this comic shop that I used to go to. They have a website, which I think it's been a year, maybe less.
So since you've had the site?
Yeah.
I'd say at least a year.
Or at least since it's been active.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it was just kind of one of those horrible websites that looks like no one ever gave it a second look for a long time, but yeah.
But they have a button right on there that allows you to buy a digital comic through them. So you buy a digital comic and you support your local comic shop.
Best of both worlds.
It is. So if you're out there looking to get into digital comics, see if your local comic shop has a similar deal, and that way you can help them out.
And if not, go to jackmavericks.com.
There you go. Help out my local comic shop. Help them fight against magic.
Yeah.
So I went through the list of different comics and found that digital comics are kind of a ripoff. They're mostly the same price as buying a physical copy, which makes zero sense to me. And I know, like, Marvel and DC, they do, like, the month after a book comes out, they, drop in price, like, by $1,
right.
Which is better, but still not great. So I bought a bunch of 99-cent comics that I found floating around on there. And I queued them all up through the Comixology Mavericks, hybrid website thing that I was at.
Yeah.
And it told me to go fuck myself.
Oh, literally.
It just said that my account was inactive. And it didn't have any kind of way for me to activate the account.
What is it supposed to do? I don't even know what it does.
Basically, you go through, like, you pick out the books that you want, you add it to your cart.
Oh, okay.
And then, it says checkout, and I click the button, and type in my information, my credit card number, all that, and it said that your order did not go through, your account is inactive.
Huh.
So I'd email their tech support today. They finally got back to me and said, "Oh, sorry, your account's active now." And so this afternoon I went through again and bought all the books I was going to buy last night.
Sweet.
and downloaded about $30 worth of comics.
Wow.
Digitally. To use on my tablet.
I bet it's one of those things, like price point wise, that'll transition. I'm sure they're just like trying to probably not piss off the people that are still buying tangibles.
I think there's a lot of retailers anyway, and maybe this is true for the person I'm looking at right now. I don't know. But I think a lot of retailers are dead set against the whole digital comic thing. That, like digital comics are going to hurt, the stores, and which, I mean, I guess there's always that possibility that they will, but a lot of comic fans also seem to be kind of dead set against digital too.
Well, I mean, it's hard to, because a lot of comic collectors are that. I mean, they're collectors too. They read them, but it's also like, at least half of it is this weird psychosis where they want all the shit in their house and in perfect condition, and and like you can't have that with digital,
right?
Unless you
just get the reading experience.
How awesome would it be though if they put in some sort of element to the digital comics that just randomly over the years, like your comics get damaged, your digital versions, like all of a sudden, like you like go to reread a Conan annual, and all of a sudden, like, a corner's missing, or like,
it'd have to be a digital thing, so it would just become more and more pixelated.
Yeah, pixelated.
It would, like, lose resolution, shrink in size.
See, now there's an idea, and you can, and you have to, like, I don't know, buy another copy, or to prevent that, you can buy some sort of digital bag and board.
Oh, man, I guarantee you, if Marvel or DC found out a way to sell a digital bag and board,
they would,
absolutely would.
And, like, people would buy it just to be, like, quirky. Like, I put all my comics in digital bags and boards, and they only cost a penny each. Of course, I've got 6 million of them, so I'm an idiot.
But yeah, I haven't really read anything. I bought a couple of because DC has some digital only books that they put out.
Right.
I think they eventually collect them and print them. But bought a couple of those.
You were telling me about, you said Batman Beyond's one of those, right?
Yeah, Batman Beyond, and I guess it's also Justice League Beyond and Superman Beyond, and then there's Legends of the Dark Knight that started, and I think they're even doing a Masters of the Universe digital separate from the print one that's coming out.
Oh, like not the same content?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So I bought a couple of those, and I bought, decided to check out the 2 previous issues of Eric Larson's Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
Because those were $1.99, and I like Eric Larson. I want to support him. I just, for whatever reason, have a hard time doing it, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I figured, digital, that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you get the first issue?
I got the first one. I still haven't read it yet, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, that seems like since I switched to the mail order for the physical books anyway, I'm already waiting a month for books anyway.
Right.
So I can wait a month for digital books to be cheaper. I just wish they were more cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems wrong to me to purchase something that you can't hold. I mean, I guess I'm holding the tablet, but I already paid $400 for that.
Right.
It just seems like if I'm going to buy something that doesn't actually exist, 99 cents is a good price point.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure out though, like I don't know how it breaks down price structure wise, like a $4 comic, like, how much does Marvel get? How much does the writer and artist get, like, for each copy? Like, how would that, like, I'm sure they don't get paid by the copy, but I mean,
right.
But I wonder, after Marvel pays, the creative talent, like, how many copies they'd have to sell to make their money.
Yeah,
and then how much of it just goes into the paper cost. So I bet the paper cost really isn't that much. So I bet, it's not unreasonable to think they would keep them pretty close just so they could pay everybody involved.
Right. Well, but you have to, I'm sure it's probably bullshit, but, Marvel and DC have always said that the reason the prices keep climbing is because of the cost of paper
right.
and the cost of the printing. And so, I mean...
Now it should not factor in at all.
Exactly,
right,
yeah.
Yeah, huh. Well, they're like, oh, now we have to scan them all in.
Right,
and,
yeah. Well, they're already scanned.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, up until the point that they are physically printed, they are digital.
Yeah.
They're just
True.
high resolution.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It'll write itself out, I think, at some point, but at this point, it's still young, and people are still trying to figure it out, and I think Comixology is the only game in town at this point. Like, I don't know if there are alternatives to it or not. But
Not that I know of. That's the one we use.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier, how retailers, like, what they think of it. Like, I know us, we're just kind of like, like with most things that change in our hobby, we just kind of wait and see.
Right.
Like we do have the thing through our site where you can buy digital, so we're not like.
Which honestly, like, super surprised me that you guys even had that.
Right.
I'm sure that wasn't, Jack's idea at
No,
all. But,
Jack, he probably still doesn't know that there's digital comics.
Right,
but,
yeah. But I just, like, when I saw that you were doing that, I thought, no, that's a great idea, and also how progressive.
Right, for Mavericks. Especially for Mavericks, yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna try it, and we're not against it, but at the same time, it is just one more step into the future of our store not being a comic shop, probably.
Right.
Because we've got toys and baseball cards and Magic and all that, and all that stuff is kind of getting bigger, other than sports cards. And I could see comics getting smaller as people do transition into the digital. I mean, I guess they're gonna put all the old books in digital form at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're slowly doing it. Like, Marvel, I think, has a pretty extensive archive of, like, a lot of their Silver Age and sort of Bronze Age stuff. And, going through the DC books, they're a little more sporadic, but, they've got just chunks here and there of, like, some of their older books, there, but I don't think they have anything pre-80s, at least.
Right.
Yet, anyway, that I've seen. I also haven't looked into it too much.
Right.
I know, like, you can buy every issue of Savage Dragon digitally.
Nice.
So, there are individual creators out there too, at least making it available, if not, pushing.
I actually just heard yesterday, because I'm part of the Bob Burden, the guy that does Flaming Carrots fan club,
Right.
and his fan club guy emailed me and said they're doing all the Flaming Carrots digitally. There's like a Kickstarter for it right now.
Okay, yeah. And Dave Sim recently, I don't know if it's still going on or not, but I know it was a huge success.
Yeah.
But he had a Kickstarter to do Cerebus digitally. And, like, some of the details on it confused the hell out of me, but, I think...
That usually happens when Dave Sim's involved.
It's true. But, like, I think at first he was just doing, like, a couple of the phone books, not all of them. But I think, I think he reached the goal where he said he would do every Cerebus story digitally.
Crazy.
So.
That's kind of cool.
And he has a guy, like, already scanning shit in now, for free.
I wonder, have you seen any of the Silver Age digital books, like Marvel books or whatever?
I've actually seen Fantastic Four #9.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
So do they scan, like, mint copies, or what do they... Because, I mean, part of the fun for me, looking at old Silver Age books, like, because, they are, like, artifacts and collectibles,
Right.
and, like, I love seeing, the, like, little bins and the stamps and all that
Right.
stuff, like... It's part of it.
They're pristine. I think these are... Because Marvel has always been... They've been putting out the Marvel Masterworks for over 2 decades now.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that whatever they're doing to put those out is just, a simple transfer over to the digital.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, they're all as clean as can be.
And that's exciting too, whenever, don't get me wrong, when we go through the comic collections and you see a pristine Silver Age book, that's pretty fucking exciting too, but... No less exciting is seeing one that has, like, dog-eared corners and, like, little rips on the edges and, like, that's part of the...
Brings in a lot of character.
Yeah, it's just I associate damaged covers...
With well-read.
Yeah, with and with that era more than I would with mint versions, because it's usually what you see is the ones that are messed up. So I wonder if that would... like, put me off a little bit if I was reading. First of all, like, I'll probably be one of the last people that switches to digital comics, but when I do, I think the Silver Age stuff will be what trips me up the most.
Right. And, not to say that, like, I'm totally giving up on the physical books either, because I still like physical books, and I still want to read them, I still want to collect them. I've just decided that, for books that, maybe I'm not 100% behind, like I'll try them out digitally.
Right.
Especially
if they're cheaper.
Especially if they're cheaper, or, just books that I like, but I don't love. I'm still gonna get my, box of comics every month, but, I'm also gonna expand out to see, what's out there digitally, and I know, maybe there's a book out there, because I know Fantagraphics just signed a deal with Comixology. Top Shelf, is publishing through them as well. Mm-hmm. So, there's smaller publishers out there who are making their stuff available digitally, and you got to think that that's going to reach a wider audience than being in previews.
It's probably good for them,
yeah. So, like I said, it is just an additional aspect to my trying to read comics more,
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure the whole digital thing is, right now it's in an organic stage where it's changing, and it'll take a while to become what it will be in the future.
Right.
So
I just hope whatever it is, it's not webcon or what the hell is that? The animated comics. Motion comics.
Yeah, HP or what does it say on those Marvel books?
AP or AR or something like that.
Augmented reality.
Yeah. But they put out, when the Watchmen movie came out, they put out the motion comic.
Oh yeah.
And I saw the first issue done of that, and I was like, this is not anything I am into. Even Marvel had a Black Panther animated series that they were promoting, and all it was the John Romita Jr. comic,
they just
animated.
They just slide the arms around a little bit.
Right, yeah. And I mean, it's like the same shit that they did back in the 60s with Jack Kirby comics.
Yeah. Those 60s cartoons.
Right.
Wow.
And, it's not much better.
Wow. I mean, things...
The transitions are smoother and the technology is better, but for the most part, it's still the exact same as watching,
Right.
cut up Avengers comics running around on your TV,
And that stuff has a weird, strange appeal to me. I would watch that and just be freaked out and, laugh at it and totally enjoy it, sort of like an Ed Wood movie.
Right.
But, if you're actually legitimately trying to read a comic, the motion, air quotes, the motion is what happens between the panels.
Exactly.
So you don't want to see your panels moving around.
Right, yeah.
You just want to either give me a cartoon or a static image.
Exactly. So, yeah, I haven't checked out any of the Marvel AR things or whatever that
I haven't looked at that either, but I've heard nothing but bad things about them.
Is what is their webcomics push? Infinity or something like that? Marvel Infinity?
Oh, I don't even know.
It's something Mark Waid was involved with putting together, and him and Stuart Immonen did a Nova series or something like that. Oh,
yeah, I did hear about that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I've never checked any of that out. Maybe I'll give one a shot, I guess, but... Yeah, like I said, I don't want my comics to move.
Yeah.
It's I like bacon and I like, pineapple, but I don't want to have bacon pineapple,
Not even on a pizza?
Especially not on a fucking pizza. If you get pineapple on your pizza, kill yourself.
I do. I get pineapple on my
Kill yourself.
No. Well, I guess I should probably go kill myself.
There's a whole box of knives over there.
Are you just going to put me in the garage with the cleaning lady?
Yep. And then turn on the cars.
Oh. We get to watch Cars on DVD?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. That's one of the few Pixars I've never watched.
That is worse than death, probably. I've never seen it because I have zero interest in seeing it, and I've heard nothing but bad things about it. So go fuck yourself, Cars. And Cars 2.
All right.
Pick a movie?
Sure.
Cars?
You'll probably veto it almost as quickly.
Okay. Ooh, I'm excited.
It is a movie I legitimately want to see.
Okay.
And I kind of hope you do too, but I don't expect that you would want to.
Alrighty.
It's a Steven Soderbergh movie.
Okay.
Do you want to veto it already?
I don't hate him.
Okay, cool.
I honestly can't think of too many movies that I've ever seen by him. Maybe
Really?
something by him.
He did Bubble.
Never saw it.
He did Ocean's 11.
I like that.
Okay. And then like all the other Ocean's 11s.
I only saw the first one. Did he do Out of Sight?
I don't know that one.
The George Clooney, Jennifer Lopez, Emma Leonard thing?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I think he did. I like that a lot.
I did see one like kind of weird experimental movie that he did.
Schizopolis?
Yeah. That was bizarre.
I've never seen it. It's on my Netflix queue.
But none of those are the one I was going to pick.
Can I guess? Haywire?
Nope.
Oh.
Is that an old? That's an old one, isn't it?
No, that just came out.
Oh, did it? Okay. Well, let's watch that then. No, the one I was going to pick was Contagion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Down for that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, then Contagion.
All right, then.
What's Haywire? What's that?
It's Steven Soderbergh made an action movie.
Really?
Yeah, with some MMA female boxer somebody as the main star.
Weird.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. I thought maybe there might even be another Haywire, but I was thinking there was a movie from like the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be a common movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Like giant robots or something in the movie.
Haywire. I don't know. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Contagion. I got. It's not a movie I ever really wanted to see, but I got nothing against it.
Sweet.
So yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Alrighty.
By that sound,
it is
time to go.
Yes, it is. I'll see you next week.
Sweet.
Bye.
You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook, or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.